Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you part 2 of a replay between Infi and Soccer here on Echo Isle. Potion of Mana on the Pandarian Brewmaster is going to come in very handy. If the Warden retrains the Fan of Knives, which I think he'll do at level 4, Breath of Fire and Fan of Knives will completely take down a whole entire peasant line in a hurry. Infi now getting some more workshops in play to try to counter those huntresses and the dryads that are undoubtedly coming. Yes, dual Ancient of Lores and Abolish Magic being researched with dryads. Pandarian Brewmaster does have a Scroll of Healing and a Potion of Mana, so we'll see how that's going to come into play. Meanwhile, the Archmage is now selling some items. I think that was a Ring of Protection +2 for 62 gold. Mountain King now currently in play. Archmage is now trying to run out, trying to do some harassing of his own, but is not going to get very far, as that Warden is going to be able to really just counter this. Ancient of Winds now coming down as well, a single one. We do have a Shadow Strike on the Archmage. Archmage trying to get away in a hurry is not going to get very far, as it's trying to run towards the Ancient of Lores, trying to figure out what exactly the strategy is going to be. And ooh, nice Abolish Magics and just feeding additional mana to the Warden. Let's see, the Warden's still currently sitting shy of level 3. Is that Panda getting the experience? Yeah, I think the Panda's almost level 3. Once Panda gets level 3, Shadow Strike and Breath of Fire may be too much. Soccer is going to be able to do a lot of damage, especially against low hit point units such as Mortars and Footmen. Archmage now trying to do some creeping with the Mountain King. Mountain King has Boots of Speed and the Vitality item, so it does have an additional 150 hit points. Mountain King just a really good tank right now. Ooh, nice ensnare on the Water Elemental, so that means the Water Elemental is not going to be doing the tanking in this particular fight. Right now we have the Pandarian Brewmaster sitting at level 3. I think Soccer should try to do a press right now. He does have the hero advantage with the level 3, almost level 4 a Warden and a level 3 Pandarian Brewmaster, but we'll see what happens here. Warden now coming in. Warden at level 4. May get the Shadow Strike off on that Sea Turtle. No, does not get the Shadow Strike off on the Sea Turtle. It's on cooldown, but losing some priests in the process. Huntsman is going to go... Come on, just kill that. Ooh, nice bolt on the Warden. Warden is bolted, but with that Boots of Speed will not be able to catch him, especially if that Warden did train Blink. I don't know what the second skill is. I would assume it's Blink at this point, as we haven't seen a single Fan of Knives yet. Mortar is now still coming into play. Pandarian Brewmaster trying to do some additional damage. Druids of the Claw in Adept training. No, now Master training. So we are at Tree of Eternity and pumping out Bears now for Soccer. Soccer currently sitting at, let's see, 62 over 70, while Infi is 69 over 84. We have a Militia coming across, so we might have a tower attempt now, and coming in from Infi. Infi is trying to do a push at this time, but ooh, we have Fairy Dragons as well, so Fairy Dragon's going to be a good counter to that Archmage, the Mountain King, and those Priests that are going to be trying to do some healing. Priest now Militia now coming in from the north. Scout Ivory Tower is now coming down. One Ivory Tower down. A second Ivory Tower coming down. No bolt in play. Archmage dropping 3 Scout Towers, and those Water Elementals are just going to be abolished left and right. No way to really drain that mana right now. A lot of Militia currently in play, and we do have an Ancient of War now coming into play. Roar being casted, and now we have the push. And let's see, those guard towers are now being repaired, trying to be repaired. Fairy Dragon now trying to do a lot of damage. With those guard towers in play, Infi is forced to try to fight near this position. Breath of Fire going down, so Mountain King taking a lot of damage as well. Just a lot of damage going back and forth, left and right. Archmage low on hit points, Mountain King low on hit points. Pandarian Brewmaster is alright. Units left and right, and Infi just has to pull back out. Ooh, nice Fan of Knives coming in. And ooh, Mortar's now coming in, doing a lot of damage, a lot of splash damage as well. Eunice trying to come back once more, trying to push back once more. Wow, a lot of Spellbreakers, a lot of Mortars in the mix. No more Priests, unfortunately. He did use a Healing Scroll to try to take out some additional damage, and those Ancient of Winds and Ancient of Wars are now coming in as well. So let's see what those Ancients are going to do. They are moving relatively quickly right now. Archmage and Mountain King should be able to do some bolting right now to try to push back this attack right now. And let's see what's going to happen here. Mortars now coming in, trying to rain some more damage. Those Mortars doing a lot of damage to those Ancient of Wars, even when they're uprooted. Fairy Dragons now coming back up, and one Ancient of War goes down. No more Abolish Magic in play, and let's see, Infi should probably consider buying a Scroll of Healing. Scroll of Healing would probably come in really handy right now. Ancient of Wind now taking a good amount of damage as Sakura's trying to push to the back right now. There is no additional Fairy Dragons in play, so only 2 Fairy Dragons. And ooh, Quick Dispel losing even more mana right now. And those water elementals are going to get focused down. Let's see what's going to happen here. Bolt. Oh, nice timing on that bolt. A Warden uses an anti-magic shell to counteract it. And units are going down left and right. Breath of Fire. And Infi realizes that he cannot stay very long. Tries to go ahead and teleportal out. So perfect timing on that bolt from, or on that anti-magic shell from the Warden, and Infi is now currently trying to regenerate back at his base, currently sitting at 71 over 84 food. And let's see what's happening here. The main bases still have a good amount of gold right now, about 5,000, little bit shy of 5,000. And the Pandurian Brewmaster still has not used that Potion of Greater Mana, trying to do take away some of that mana right now with that hitting. Warden or Spellbreaker's trying to do some feedback damage. Perhaps we're gonna get a bolt. Oh, get a bolt on that Huntress. Come on, take it down. Take down that Huntress, and down goes a Huntress. So one Huntress goes down, but Sakura definitely has the hero advantage with a level 4 Pandurian Brewmaster compared to a level 2 Mountain King. Otherwise, it's pretty even on heroes. Spellbreakers do have 2-0 upgrades, so those 2-0 upgrades will come in handy when trying to focus down heroes. We do have a Clarity Beam potion being used, and Scout Tower is being used again. Perhaps trying to do another tower push. And let's see what's going to happen here. Dryads now coming into play. Mortars, this is a really good positioning for human to play. It's kind of tight, so those mortars will be difficult to get to, but no one is really coming in. Now there's five almost, was that 6 bears? 6 bears currently in play, so 6 bears are going to be a little bit harder to counter for Infi. And Infi just doesn't have the right unit mix in order to counter Sakura's army, even though Infi is at 80 over 84 and Sakura is at 63. With those bears in play, it just feels much larger. We'll see what the breakers can do to try to counteract those bears, but I don't think that's a really good positioning. And now more mortars coming in, and what single breaker a little bit out of position is going to go down relatively quickly. More mortars coming in. That whole entire front army is all normal armor, so as long as we have Staff of Preservation to save those low hit point bears, he will be fine. Dryad's now running to the back. Warden forced to teleport at 48 hit points. And let's see, Sakura and Infi down to 69 over 96 food. Meanwhile, Sakura is at 67 over 70. Well, Sakura is at pretty good food count right now. He didn't lose, I think, hardly any units in that fight. But he teleported to the north, so this may be a problem. As the scout farm shows where Sakura teleported to, so now Infi should really just try to push in at this time, knowing that the army is a little bit further away. What is he waiting for? Mortar should try to take down that Ancient of Wind in a hurry. Yes, Ancient of Wind gonna go down. Let's see if that Fairy Dragon is going to make it in time. Not quite sure. It's going to come close, and now the Fairy Dragon pops out just a second or two before. And yeah, those Ivory Towers should have gone down a little bit more quickly, and units now once again trying to fight a little bit more, trying to fight in this really tight arena once more. Nice Fan of Knives, but most of those Spellbreakers just unfazed by those Fan of Knives right there. And Warden unable to... Ooh, Mountain King still sitting at level 2. This is really bad. Sakura is doing a really good job of just countering those units much better right now, and those breakers are forced to go ahead and run away. And Infi currently sitting at 77 over 90 food, but a lot of Druids of the Claws are relatively low in hit points. I do not see any Griffin Aviaries up yet, so not quite sure what's going to happen here. Stay tuned for part 3 and what I hope to be the conclusion of this replay between Infi and Sakura here on Echo Isle.